Hello, everyone. Today I have the honor to introduce someone I've known my whole life, which is my sister. Um, we've been through thick and thin, and we had many, unnecessary and dumb fights and arguments. But even with all those arguments and fights, I wouldn't trade her for the world. Um, yeah. And without further ado, here is my sister, Kendall Johnson.
A taste of freedom finally arrived. School was out for the week. It was the first day of spring break, and I had to spend it going to take the SAT. Or did I? Now, I want you to imagine the night before a really big test. Now, reflect on how that made you feel. Personally, I remember waking up at the crack of dawn just to make sure I wasn't going to be late. All the while, I had a big bundle of nerves kicking in, swarming in my stomach. I knew after this big test, the week was going to be filled with relaxation and a time to do fun activities. However, lo and behold, I was greeted with this glorious notification that the SAT was canceled due to COVID. Safe to say, that news granted me a free get-out-of-jail card. At least, that's what it felt like. Quickly after that, it was reported that we got an additional 2 weeks off and then the remainder of the semester. One of the hardest years had turned into, well, it not being so hard after all. Finally, a massive weight of pent-up tension was taken off of me, and just like that, with the breeze, it sailed away. During this time, it had become apparent to me that I had more time to do the things I truly love and overall focus more on myself. For quarantine was a true blessing in disguise, if I knew how to use my time in the right way. Ever since attending in Richards, we get assignment after assignment, and many students work year-round. This is just how our school works. When we enter 6th grade, we are taught at a young age that school is important, which is true, but it can be very easy to get wrapped up into. As I'm sure so many of y'all know, it comes to the point where we start ignoring things such as taking care of ourselves. This unique situation was presented to us, and I knew I was going to take full advantage of it. Throughout quarantine, I was able to reflect upon myself and recognize that during school I had been neglecting the things that make me feel like me. These include things like drawing for myself, not because of school, writing and using it to reflect upon my emotions, taking walks, and simple things like skincare. Sure, these are little things that I could have somehow squeezed into my daily routine, but that's the problem. I was ignoring myself. Nonetheless, throughout quarantine, I was able to reconnect with myself. I often did this by going off into a place where I could be alone and then do the activity of my choosing. But doing this gave me the chance to recharge and give my brain a break. By making sure I set away time for myself and overall work on myself as a person. In the end, I'm still working on giving myself breaks and truly giving myself the time I deserve to relax. Knowing that we are back in school, I would just like to say I hope most of y'all are setting time aside for yourselves, an hour or so, or just taking a few minutes to do the things you truly love. Or even leave the weekend for not doing any work at all, as taking it to debrief from the week. From experience, I can say that this is what is getting me through. So I hope you can understand after listening to this speech that it is simply okay to take time for yourself. Thank you. Also, wear your mask. Bye, y'all.